We at Times Network have been running this special series and speaking with stalwarts and industry leaders. This is on how to take those baby steps to bring the economy back on track, how industries can optimize their productivity as well in these graded phases of the lockdown. Times Network has spoken now in this exclusive conversation to the co-founder of Infosys, Mr. Narayana Murthy. This is what he's had to say.
The best thing that we can do is to assume that the new normal is to live with coronavirus, that we should start doing whatever we are doing before corona came, as if it's part of our life. In other words, protect the most vulnerable people who are the old age people like me. We should be more careful than people like you. And you people like you use gowns, goggles, masks, and whatever it is. Find out how much it costs. Each company can make an effort, and then the association should put forward this thing to the government and say, look, we are doing all of this, therefore it won't spread. Therefore, we will open our factories. And you can work 3 shifts. That is when you will reduce the number of people to 1/3. If it is a 1-shift factory, if it is a 2-shift factory, it will be reduced by 2/3. It will be reduced to 2/3. And therefore, social distancing is possible. So the name of the game is to simply accept that the new normal for at least the next 12 to 18 months is that we will all learn to live with coronavirus. While it is a great idea to say we'll all work from home, unless there is a very clear productivity standard that we have defined, unless every one of us is asked to achieve that productivity standard, these things won't work. So first, let every industry, whether it's financial sector, whether it is IT, whatever other sector, first let it define productivity standards for work from home. Work in the office, I don't know if we have true productivity standards even for that, but assuming it does exist, let us say that we have to achieve this kind of productivity standard for a software engineer, for an analyst, for a project manager, for a HR person, for a finance person, etc. And then you can work from anywhere you want. Home, whatever places, restaurant, whatever place you want, as long as you provide that productivity. But at this point of time, my own understanding is we do not have the productivity standards defined. And then in terms of startups, in terms of small companies, like it has happened in many developed countries, probably one could guarantee a loan from banks for the next X months for these startups as well as MSMEs, etc. There's a certain amount of working capital of 3 months or 6 months that could again be done. I think these are all things that should have been done pretty early. It's not too late, and I'm sure we should be able to do that. We, the citizens, must decide to first do what we can to make the country stronger. So therefore, once we are all able to work, once this lockdown is lifted, then we should all take a decision, we should all take a pledge that we'll work 10 hours a day for 6 days a week. In other words, as against 40 hours a week, we will work 60 hours a week for the next 2 or 3 years, so that we will fast track the economy. We will grow the economy much faster, and then we help the country. On the side of the government has to appoint a committee of well-respected, highly accomplished, people to advise the government on how to remove hassles for these businesses like it happened in the economic reforms of 1991, these eminent savants, eminent cognoscenti can sit down and say, these are the ways by which you can reduce the hassle for the businesses. If we did these two, I think by and large, we will come out of this much stronger than we would have thought.